Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. And what is this video about? Well, I think I'm going to try and make a lo-fi hip-hop thing. Not sure why. I think it's cool, isn't it? Isn't it kind of cool? I think it's something like young people like, and because I'm such an old warty dinosaur, I have no idea what the young people understand. So I thought I'd give it a go because I've heard some of it and it's good. It's all right. It's vibes, man. Vibes. So before I get started on this, I think it's important that we address something, which is, I think when you get into certain types of music, it's important to question how much kudos you want for your authenticity. I personally don't give a shit about authenticity, particularly in electronic music. I mean, I don't know if you've listened to any of my music, but it's mostly dreadful and pretty much really fake and over the top. But that's just my own personal choice. I think if you're concerned about authenticity in electronic music, that's a little obtuse. However, I'm not going to argue with anyone who, believes in the decisions that they make and is invested in the process in which they, take in order to achieve their vision. But I just think it's important that you take a little bit of time to work some of that out. Now, not all of us out there have a vinyl turntable, an endless supply of rare vinyl, or sometimes we don't have the time or even are in the right geographic location to go and spend hours digging through the crates trying to find those gems to take home to sample from our turntable at 12-bit into our sampler. If you have the time and the means to do that, fair play to you. And I look forward to listening to your stuff. If you don't, then don't worry about it, because it doesn't matter. Because authenticity is ascribed to your work by the consumer. You cannot ascribe it yourself as the creator. So there's no point in worrying about it. Whether you have done what I just said of spending ages finding nice samples off records and sampling them, or you've just ripped something from YouTube and run it through some bit crushers and some lo-fi plugins or something to, to make it sound warbly and grungy and stuff, it don't really matter, because if it's shit, then it's shit, and people are just going to say it's shit. No amount of dressing it up or tarting it up, as we say in the UK, is really going to add anything to it. So there's no point in worrying about it. All that matters is that you get the feels, that you feel good about it. Because if you feel good about it and it doesn't make you want to suck air through your teeth when you're listening to it, then that's going to give you the motivation and the confidence to share it with people. If that is your motivation. If your motivation is that you want to make music to share with people, then you've got to get over that cringe factor. The cringe factor is something I'll probably talk about in another video. But I don't want to come across like some pretentious twat. This is just my opinion. And people can do things however they want. I don't care. It's not really going to make any difference to me. What matters to me is, does it sound good? And do I get feels? Because if I get feels, then I've decided that the sensation of having those feelings listening to that piece of music was an authentic experience. So that's where the authenticity comes in, you see. It's not about what you used or where you got the sounds from. So if you're like me and you live in the middle of nowhere and, you don't have any records, you don't have a turntable, and maybe, you want to make beats, but you're not very musical, and you want to use samples, but you don't know where to get your samples from, that's fine. So I'm going to make this entire video using samples I've got from Freesound. Freesound is a very nice website where people upload sounds at WAV, which is good. And you can download them and do whatever you want with them, and no one cares. And so basically earlier on, I went in and I just searched for some stuff that I thought would be nice. So we could go in here and I went for a Vibraphone. So we can type in Vibraphone here. Typed in Vibraphone because I thought, oh, that's lo-fi. Vibraphone's lo-fi as fuck. And, there's all sorts of these sorts of things. Kind of no, I'm not sure about that one. There's so that's good. That was nice. Some other stuff here. What's this? Noisy. Cool. Yeah, so, and then, we could try other things, like we could try drum breaks, although it's mostly just a load of amens, which is fine, but not what I was looking for today. What's this? Okay, fine. Not what I want, but what's this? So there's just stuff on there. You can download it, you can use it, you can get it at various bit depths, various sample rates, various file types. You can do FLAC if you want, if FLAC's your thing. You can obviously upload your own stuff. You can bookmark stuff. It's a very nice website. No one cares what you do with their sounds. They put it on there, you're good to go. So I went ahead earlier on and downloaded a load of stuff from there. And I'm slightly nervous because, as ever, when I'm doing a video involving lots of multimedia, there's tons of stuff precariously balanced on my desk. Microphone stands, webcam stands, beer bottles. It could all go wrong at any minute. Gosh, that was loud. I've already waffled on for way too long. Let's get started. So I found this really nice long recording of a vibraphone player and a trumpet player busking. So I thought this was absolutely fantastic because there's obviously a load of ambient noise and it's very distant, but it had a very understated and yet dramatic chord progression to it, which is absolutely my thing. I love stuff like that, you know, a little bit of drama, but it's not in your face. And it's very lazy. There's the trumpet, lazy trumpet over the top. And it's a vibraphone, which is lo-fi as fuck. So I'm going to kind of use that and sort of extrapolate certain phrases from that. And that's going to be like the basis of my track. And then I got these drums. Very nice. And then I got some vinyl sounds. Yeah, because vinyl, you know, because vinyl. It's going to add some texture. I'm going to layer it in. Here's some more vinyl. That's a bit more aggressive, but. And I found this guy, I don't know, sounds like he's just warming up on the double bass or something. Let's have a listen to this. Oh, he spoke. He spoke. Maybe in French, sounded like French, I'm not sure. Anyway, so that's my little palette of sounds I'm going to use. And what am I going to do this in? I'm going to do this all in a drum rack. We're going to make the whole thing in a drum rack. And I'm going to set it up so that we can just trigger it from the push. We're going to have a nice relaxing time. We're going to get all chilled before we hit the books. So what should we start with? Well, let's start with the vibraphone thing. So I'm going to drop the vibraphone thing here. And I'm going to mostly use one-shots, the one-shot setting on simpler. Okay, so there's already a very nice little sort of phrase there. I had a listen through this earlier on and I found two bits that I liked. There was one bit sort of around here, but there's also this bit as well. So maybe I can use both of them. Let's see. Okay, that guy whistling is a bit irritating. See where it starts. No, it's maybe. Yeah, it's kind of there. So I'm going to start here. And I've also, ahead of time, matched the tempo. But because this is lo-fi hip-hop, timing, I think, doesn't really matter. Because the looseness and the out of time and the syncopation and the swing of it all contributes, I think, to the feel of the whole thing. So if I fire this off now with the tempo... Oh, hang on. I need to route the tempo to the mixer. Okay, let's see what this is like. Okay, not quite there, but Okay, stop now. So, okay, so that was one part I was going to use. And there was another, I'm going to copy this over here now. I'm just going to find another section. There was a sort of, yeah, this one. Was it here? Yeah, it was this bit. So he sort of slowly finishes off his little chord progression and then just starts faffing about. Yeah, we're going to start about here. Okay, that's fine. So I might just use that as a sort of, I don't know, miscellaneous kind of phrase or something. But what I want to do is I actually want to break up this little phrase here into bits, and then I'm going to trigger them myself so that I can kind of make sure that they fit kind of into the groove and that the whole thing doesn't go too wobbly and out of time. If this is your first time to my channel, I do long videos with very little editing, so you might want to get comfortable. You know, because this is going to take up a lot of your time watching this. You're just going to have to accept that. So let's start. Okay, that's not where I wanted. That's not where I wanted that to start. What's happened here? Was it back here? There. Okay. Okay, so, all right. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to make some settings here, and then I'm going to duplicate this instance of Simpler across the other pads. So I want trigger so I can just fire it off once. Okay, that's fine. And I also want to choke. I want to choke it. I want it to be in its own choke group so that I can cancel them out. So I'll just set this. Which one is it? I'll set both of these to choke group 16. Okay, that's fine. So now if I copy this over, and then I'll decide where I want my next bit to start. Okay, good. Okay, and that one from earlier on, I'm going to move there. So let's take a copy of this. Okay, and then let's go to roughly about here. You know, it doesn't have to be precise. Okay. Okay, that's good. Because, you know, it's lo-fi hip-hop. It's loose. It's chill. So... Okay. Okay, so now what we've got is... And then for this one, we can just sort of fire this off as a sort of, I don't know, arbitrary phrase. Okay, but what I might do is I might take a copy of this one to here, but I'll actually mute it. But it's in the same choke group. So what I can do with that, actually maybe I won't mute it, I'll just turn the volume down. And then what I can do is I can use that to choke the other ones, like that. So for any point, because they're triggered and they're, you know, playing from start to finish, there's not really much way to stop them. I suppose we can just press the stop button. Yeah, that kind of works. Okay, so let's get the drums in. So where are the drums? Let's put the drums here. Okay, so for the drums, I give them a different color. Let's give them a nice blue. We'll put these to choke group 15. Oh, that's loud. Okay, so let's just find a kick we like. Let's use one shot again. All right. Where's the... Oh. Okay. Put a bit of fade out here. Okay, fine. Let's move that over to here. We'll do a snare here. You can do it from the push, by the way, but I prefer to use the mouse. Okay, that's fine. Now let's find a hi-hat. There's a hi-hat here, I think. And then I want a second snare for a bit of variation, because I like multi-timbral snare sounds. Okay, that's fine. So that kick drum, I'm actually going to low pass that like an idiot. Let's... Oh, that's a bit better already. And then the hi-hat, I want a high pass. Sorry, I was so chilled out I nearly went to sleep. Right, that's starting to sound interesting to me already. And the idea is to maybe kind of like bounce between the kick and the hat and the snare with these fingers or something. And then maybe use some other fingers to trigger the phrases. That was dumb. So I might have to use the other hand. Okay, that's good. So what else have we got? We got that lovely like vinyl crackle stuff. Get goodbye metronome. Okay, I think I actually want to layer this underneath both the snares. So I'll go into the cell where the snare is. I'll group that, and I'll just chuck that lo-fi, that vinyl sample in with the snare. Oh, it's warped. Turn warp off. We don't want any warping. Okay, one shot's fine with the trigger on. Okay, I think it needs a bit of high passing. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to this one. Group. Go into the group, paste. Okay, we've got it on both of them now. Ah, these are... Okay, these actually don't need to be choked, I don't think. I made a mistake, so I'm going to unchoke them. No choke group. For you, you are free to do as you please. Because I want that that vinyl noise to just sort of whir away in the background. Let's maybe get some more sounds in, some more percussive sounds. What's this doing? Ooh. I don't really want to use loops because that means I have to warp them to make sure that they're in time. I could maybe do it the old-fashioned way of transposing, but you know, I don't really want to play to the grid. I just kind of want to laze about with my fingers, which sounds rather rude, actually. Let's That's nice. I don't want that second hi-hat bit though. But I like the little phrase. Okay, I'm just going to chuck a load of reverb. Reverb it like an idiot. There we go. So at any point we can just sort of do that. All right, let's try the bass. Let's bring this bass in. I'm going to put the bass on these three here. So let's put it here. Let's it can be brown for bass. It should appear as brown on the push, which is nice, but it doesn't do it on here, which is a bit weird. Okay, let's have a listen to this. This is nice. It's all good stuff, but it's a bit busy. I need something a bit more like that. That is a nice root bass note. Oh, with that little bit of talking there. So, but is it in tune with the vibraphones? No, no, it's not. So we're going to have to find where that is. No. Ah. Okay. So we'll pitch down 2 semitones. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use one shot with trigger on. Don't want to use the whole sample here. Okay. And then I want to choke this one though. This one definitely has to be choked. So this is going to go choke group 15. Let's copy to here. And let's pick a different part. There was like a nice sort of bendy thing somewhere. Maybe that. Nah, I've changed my mind. Let's see what all this junk is. That's good, that bit at the end. I'm gonna use that for another part. I mean, the timing, as I said, doesn't really matter because I want that kind of lazy feel to it. Try this. Let's get this one. Oh, that's good. Right. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's it. I mean, that's kind of a start, but like maybe those bass phrases weren't quite appropriate, but it's sounding all right, and I'm already itching to get ready to perform, to jam with this, you know. So I'm just gonna have a little guzzle of beer to celebrate my work. Okay, now I'm gonna drum bust the whole thing like an idiot. Because it just sounds so good. Transients up, compression up. It's probably going to be really loud now, so I'll come in slowly. Okay. I'll just come down a bit on the drum bus. Okay. I think, oh my god, I was being smothered with turntable noise. So I think probably I'm being a bit aggressive with the with the compression here. Maybe I'll take the transients off. Because it's lo-fi. It's meant to be mellow, not in your face. But I want that kind of, you know, pumping sound. How am I going to do that? Well, I tell you what, one thing that you can do in drum racks, which is really cool, and you will need Live 10 to do this. I don't think it'll work in Live 9. So Live 10 crew, you're good. Live 9 crew, sorry, nothing I can tell you to do. We'll create a, we'll open up the returns, and I'll create a return chain. And then what we can do is we can actually bus multiple cells in a drum rack to a single track, which means that these top cells along here, we can route them all to the same compressor rather than compressing each one by itself, which is a drain on CPU and just also like a pain in the ass. And it also means that we can bus things through the same reverb or something, again, to save on processing. So in order to do that, where have they gone? Where have you gone? There they are. In order to do that, we need to first select one. We go to the output. Let's name it. So let's name it. I'm going to sidechain it. So I'm going to call it sidechain. Let's route it to the sidechain. Drum rack sidechain. Okay, and then let's do the same for this one. And this one, I wonder if we can do two at once. Maybe not. Let's try it from here. Maybe it will let us do two at once. Yeah, cool. Right, so now they are all... Oh, hang on. Okay, so they are now all bussed to this sidechain track, which I'm just going to chuck a glue compressor on. And where is it? There it is. So now they're all... Okay, I need to turn this button off here to stop selecting the chains when I trigger something. So I can keep a chain in view and still trigger sounds without it flicking back to that chain. So let's pull this down. Okay, so, but now we need a sidechain trigger. So what are we going to use to trigger that? Well, actually, I think I would quite like to use the kick and the snare, well, the drums basically. So I'll create another one. I'll rename it. I'm going to rename it sidechain trigger. And I'm going to mute it because I don't want any sound to come through. This is basically a silent bus. And the drum sounds, where are you? So this chain, with this trigger chain that we've made here, is on send B. So I'm going to send everything that's a drum sound to send B. Hi-hat as well. And then in the chain that has the compressor on, I'm going to choose the trigger sidechain as the input for the sidechain trigger. So I'm going to go to drum rack, and then I'm going to have to, there's an enormous list here, but I think it's probably somewhere at the bottom. Okay, so we've got, here we go, B sidechain trigger. I don't want post mixer because I've muted it, so it probably wants to be post effects. There's no effects on there, doesn't matter. So if I trigger these now, we can see that it's triggering the compressor. So now we just kind of want to make a decision over... Now we just want to make a decision over how quickly we want the compressor to work. Currently it's... Well, I mean, it's... I don't know. Okay, that's sounding okay. I wonder if I maybe... Let's look at these snare sounds a second. I wonder if I could maybe... Maybe I should high pass these a little bit. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Where's the other one? Oh, all right. right, we're getting there, we're getting there. Okay, well, I was having a nice time with that. And then to round it all off, you could just trigger this one off, which is that. So where do you go from there? Well, basically, I just think you just hit record, don't worry about the metronome, and just don't quantize it. Let's do that now. Okay. I really screwed that up. Okay, so one thing that I've missed out, which I thought I'd quite like, is the warble. The warble, not the wobble. It's not 2006 anymore. The warble. So what we're going to do with the warble? Well, I'm going to use the echo. I'll put the echo before the compressor. But we don't actually want any echo, so I'm going to set the time really fast. and I'm going to use this LFO to modulate the delay time. See what we get. Okay, that sounded good. Let's go. It's too much. It's too much. I put too much on. We could, of course, just apply an LFO to the pitch of the sample, but because we've got 4 instances of that sample on separate instruments, that would take a lot of time. Better to just bust them all to one track and then put something like this on. In Live 11, the vibrato, the new vibrato plugin, will take care of all of this. Okay, so there you go. That was basically all. I've already gone on way too long. How long have I gone on? 38 minutes. Crikey. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you didn't enjoy it, tell me why. I'll probably ignore it, but sometimes it's just interesting. Yeah. Have a nice time. I'm going to go and put this on my Patreon now. So if you would like to, you know, download that and support me, which motivates me to keep making videos like this for people like you, then that would be great. Or you can just copy it and use your own sounds, or, you know, just come up with your own way. Just do what you want. I don't care. I really don't care. Thanks for watching. See you in the future. Okay, bye.